Simon, does he sound like a beaten man?
He sounds like a man that's free of the shackles of any expectation of him ever getting a job, and is going to start swinging a little bit less diplomatically at the problems inside the football club and stop shielding people that don't deserve to be shielded. He himself has not set the world on fire. He has not done what I expected him to do and has not been strong enough to do it. But I also think that the culture of that football club is so poor that I don't know who you could have got in there to change in such a short space of time. It will take time. If you're going to give Ten Hag, and that people are advocating, on one hand, I do like the fact he says he's heaping pressure on Ten Hag, by the way. You get this right, you recognise the fact that this needs open heart surgery, you can fix this in a year. So he just switched the bottle onto Ten Hag, saying if you're as good as you think you are and you get the support that you think you're going to get, then you'll fix this in a year. Other people that I think probably are less commercially experienced inside the door, Man United as an operation rather than as players, are saying it's going to take 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I think it will probably take between 4 and 5 transfer windows to cull, clean up, polish and refocus Manchester United into a team that can compete with Liverpool, Man City, unless Liverpool and Man City drop their standards.
You know something I don't understand, Danny, about players? I wonder how you would have fared at the weekend. Say you're a United player getting in against Arsenal. Ten Hag said it's still all about Ajax for me, but he's going to get the 90 minutes and more. He's going to look at it every which way and upside down. Forensically, he's going to examine everything about it. So why didn't we see more of a response from Manchester United players? Why didn't they, to a man, say, I'm going out there to have the game of my life today?
Well, actually, there was some improvement in recent performances. It was better in terms of energy and a bit of sharpness, especially in their attacking play.
Good of them.
So there was a little bit of response, but it wasn't saying much because they're still easy to play against and score goals against. But from an attacking point of view, they made more chances and looked much sharper. But it's so that the mistakes that keep happening and players switching off for simple things is just inherent in the club at the moment. And the manager will watch games on videos. He will look at players, so they've got to be at it. But I think I think if you're looking at Manchester United, there's a lack of quality compared to the top 3 even. The physicality is a big problem, and that's not players not being able to do it. It's just they've not been trained physically correctly. They struggle to compete physically with teams. They don't have that ability to go 90 minutes with the same
incredible
energy. I know. But this is where Ranić needs to be able to account as well. Now, sometimes you come in the middle of the season, you can't do too much about players' physicality. But there's never... We talk about repercussions for performances. You don't see any anger from him. You don't see any passion in terms of... What's he saying to them in the dressing room? Yeah. What is he doing on the training pitch?
Yeah, exactly.
I was listening to or reading a piece that Alan Shearer was talking about what trying to understand what he does on the training pitch. I get what he means. Because sometimes they're all going forward, sometimes they're all over the pitch, sometimes they'll drop up. They've got no identity whatsoever.
How can this happen? How can it happen what's happened to Bruno Fernandes? So he gets a super new deal. Last season's top scorer, he hasn't registered a goal or an assist for United since February.
Yeah, that can happen to anyone. But the thing is, with
the penalty miss, that bad challenge.
Bruno Fernandes goes on the pitch and plays how he wants. He doesn't play in a system. He's not been given a proper role. He runs around, he's got good energy, he's got great technique, but he doesn't really play a role. He doesn't know. He presses on his own. He runs back when he wants to. He's free. He plays that lovely number 10 position where he can do what he wants a lot of the time, and nobody's reining him in.
No.
I think, and to go against Simon a little bit, I don't think it'd take that long if you get a good coach. If a good coach can go in there, yes, you need a couple of windows. There needs to be some new players, but you'd be amazed how quickly a good coach can get players at it.
And you think Ten Hag can do that?
I don't know him.
And a part of me agrees with Danny, because I'm always making the case that in every other industry you can get things shaped up and fly right. In football, it seems to be after this mythology, people need to be given time. Effective people make effective decisions relatively quickly. But I do think there's something unique about Man United in terms of the challenges and the scrutiny and the difficulty they've got, and the fact that we are not comparing Man United to try and overcome Arsenal and Tottenham. We're comparing Manchester United to try and overcome Liverpool and Man City. And the reasons why I say it take them longer to recover is not to recover to get in the top 4. I think this guy, Ten Hag, I'm talking about being able to get in amongst split Man City and Liverpool, perhaps distance themselves from Chelsea, and that's where I think it will take longer, because I think that Ten Hag can go and wake them up because they're asleep. This nonsense that we listen to, I don't care whether Paul Scholes had a private conversation and repeated it, but the idea that some of these players like Lingard are talking about the dressing room is a mess. First of all, I saw you in a dressing room 2 or 3 years ago. All you're interested in was busting moves. But watch that crap, right? And I've looked at this culture of Man United become more and more diluted, and this dressing room mess is a sum of all its parts. So the problem for me is that how quickly, and also the support structures, and he said it himself, Ranić, about best in class, about having the best people in class in all aspects of the business, and that is what the other clubs have got. So Ten Hag cannot do it on his own. Correct. He will need to have a proper structure of elite support, whether it's from the physio to the technical director. It absolutely has to be. So are you
with your friend from boxing on Saturday night, Rio, who sat with us? He says he doesn't agree with Ranić's take that United requires open heart surgery, and he says what they do need, 6 areas need to be addressed: the culture, improve recruitment, structural reset, clear playing style, embrace youth and develop players.
Right, so that is open heart surgery, because they've currently got none of that. Right? So what they've currently got is a pig's heart in there. So let's take a pig's heart in there and put someone's heart in there with substance and look across what open heart surgery looks like. It means root and branch, doesn't it? It means a rebooting of your entire respiratory system. That's what it means. So with that in mind, Rio is saying the same thing in a different guise, just objecting to the terminology.
Yeah.
This is belt and brace stuff. What else do you think you need to do? Those are 6 key components of a football club. They are the biggest components: proper leadership, proper best in class, proper recruitment. Okay, fantastic, Sherlock. But these are the things that actually underpin all aspects of the football club. So they are open heart surgery. Yeah. This isn't putting a stent in. This isn't us looking for this is a quadruple bypass that's required in this football club.
I like this medical theme you're keeping going now.
Do you like
the
it?
pig's heart thing.
I think all the different areas you're talking about are relevant, but the most important one is the coaching of the players in terms of setting up a way of playing and giving the players belief to do it.
Yeah.
So when you
that comes from recruitment too, because you've got to have the ability to. You've got to have the players that can replicate what you want them to do.
Of course, but if you look at say Man City as being a possession-based team that dominate the ball, which is what they do. If you look at United's team, are the majority of those players technically gifted enough to play a possession-based game? Yes, they are.
So why aren't they doing it?
Because they're not coached to do it. It's that simple. I've played in a team. I've played in teams that were so low on confidence we haven't got a clue what day it is, and then in 3 months we become a team that's hard to beat and full of confidence because of a good coach.
But to have
I've been there.
But to have possession-based football,
who was the coach, incidentally?
Well, Roy was the best example.
Oh, yeah.
To have a possession-based team, you've got to have players that work hard to get the ball back when they've lost it, and have the confidence on the ball. And that's as much of a factor as the technical ability. The world is littered with players that have technical ability.
It's confidence, yeah.
But in this instance, I don't look at Manchester United's team and say, oh, I think this team has the ability to be able to have possession-based football at its heart, because I'm not seeing players amongst that. I don't think Matic is a great passer of the ball.
Matic won 3 leagues. Matic is older now, so it's a bad example, but he's won 3 league titles playing in teams with good coaches. So let's that's a bit different because he's getting on. Varane is he's a good passer of the ball. He can play in it.
Defensively, they're awful.
Yeah, no.
Possession starts
I'm not
from
saying
there,
the whole. Yes, but your 2 aspects. One is I'm talking about a possession-based philosophy. Then the defensive side is the pressing and all that. But are the players good enough to keep the ball better than they do? Yes. Why don't they? Because they're not coached.
Right.
So if you look at somebody like Jadon Sancho, who's taking criticism, yes, he's got talent. We see that. Would he get in City's team at the moment? No. But is he technically gifted enough to keep the ball and do better than he's yeah, he is. Of course he is.
Right.
Of course he is.
But are you
Ten Hag over now?
Are you coaching Jadon Sancho? I mean, Jadon Sancho has been poor all season.
I'm not suggesting
Surely
he hasn't.
you don't need to coach these players every aspect of everything they do.
No, but you put them in a system, Simon, where you give them the confidence and the belief in themselves to play more with more possession. I mean, United haven't got a philosophy of way they're playing. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
You might get United. Look, he's from Ajax. Ten Hag is going to try and play. I'll tell you now, I'd be absolutely gobsmacked. The Ajax philosophy has been set in stone for a long, long time. He's going to come. He's going to develop players. He's going to coach them. And he's going to coach them to play similarly to Pep and
give them identity.
Right, they're going to play like City possession. They're going to try and but next season, United are going to try and dominate the ball. So, which players have they got that can do that? They've got plenty. They need some new ones because they're not all very good.
So the right coach, and they'll start working.
Well, Simon's right in terms of elaborating. It's not just about possession. It's about confidence, about motivation. Yeah. It's about pressing the ball.
For now, though, Danny, can they forget about 4th?
They're done this season.
Done. Can they forget about 4th?
Yeah, done.
You thought they'd be 4th.
Tragically.
I did.
Yeah, I did too. I thought they would have a
You having
comment, but
another
they-
U-turn?
Well, it's not a U-turn, it's a change of mind. It's simply a reaction to the circumstances.
Can
the
I just say
circumstances
as
have
well-
changed, they've gotten worse.
I think it's worth pointing out. I watched the game and I thought Ronaldo's performance, especially after the week he'd had,
Yes.
sensational performance.
Yes.
He played really, really well.
By the
good
way,
point.
Arsenal weren't bad though, were they?
Yeah, they were all right. We're going to talk about them actually, Simon. Incidentally, never mind a U-turn. Talking about the U-bend, have you had another dodgy kebab? I see quite a few kind of...
You know I'm suffering from an affliction. Do you want me to tell you what it is on air?
Can we leave
No,
it?
do you want to
maybe
tell me
not.
what Danny
There's a break-
Murphy told me he would help me with?
Yes,
Maybe,
there's a-
really?
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.